Welcome to your yoga mat. Let's get started for a intermediate standing series. So big toes together at the top of the mat. You can turn your palms to face the top of the mat. Let's just take a great big inhale through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Maybe repeat to yourself, I am here now. And we'll get started. From here, ground down through all four corners of the feet. You're gonna drill down specifically into the left foot. Begin to peel the right toes off the mat. So you're trying to lift that right knee towards the chest, but drop the right hip down. And then when you feel you need help, let's interlace the fingers around the head of the shin bone on the right leg. Keep dropping that right hip down. From here, take the left hand to the left hip, open that leg out to the side, and your gaze can go over your left shoulder. Starting to test your balance here right at the beginning. Drawing that knee in as close as you can get it to the core, and then come back through the middle. Awesome. From here, you're gonna take your two peace fingers on your right hand, wrap them around the big toe, and then extend that right leg towards your version of straight. Keep trying to pull that right shoulder back, right hip back. So kind of trying to draw everything closer to the core as well in this version of the pose. When you're ready, gaze goes over to your left shoulder, draw that right leg out to the side, still keeping that nice, deep, kind of drilling motion with that bottom leg. Great, and then when you're ready, come back to the middle. You're gonna release those toes, but bring it into a tree pose. You might have to use your hand for help here, pressing the sole of the right foot into the left thigh or maybe left calf. So foot presses into leg, leg presses into foot. Option to stay here or to take the right leg and tuck it up into a half lotus. If the leg is there, you can take the right arm behind the back, search for those toes. Left hand can come to heart center and then begin to make your way forwards into a forward fold here. If this looks absolutely crazy to you, don't worry, you can stay in your tree. You're still getting some really great benefits from that pose. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Begin to make your way back up. You're going to release the right leg, swing it all the way around behind you, and then come into a warrior 1, but we'll bring the hands to cross at the shoulders. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze here, and then exhale, release the hands so they're back around behind you. Interlace the fingers behind the back, and then slide them down the back leg as you lift your chest. Inhale here, exhale, roll your way forwards, humble warrior. Keep trying to tuck that left hip underneath you. So sometimes it tries to like sway out to the left side. Try to keep that tucked in. And then when you're ready, release the hands, unwind into a wide leg forward fold facing the long edge of your mat. If you're slipping here, you can turn your toes in, heels out a touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. Take a deep bend in your right knee. Straighten the right knee, deep bend in the left knee. Straighten the left knee. From here, hands come to the hips. Shift your weight forwards onto the balls of your feet, and then inhale, lift about halfway. So you're trying to get the torso parallel to the ground. Your hamstrings will be firing up here. That is the intention. And then begin to make your way all the way up to standing. Good job. From here, interlace the hands behind the back one more time. Snuggle the shoulders together, and then exhale, lean forwards for the same thing with a little bit of spice. If you are in the process of looking for the floor, if that's where your practice is at, Kali Mudra, so bringing the thumbs together and the pointer fingers together while the other 3 fingers are interlaced, might help you find the floor a little easier. And when you're ready, release those hands. Deep bend in the knees, roll all the way up to stand. Awesome. From here, take the left foot, bring it to the right at the back of the mat. From here, you're going to drill down through that left foot. So we're still working with the right leg. Draw the right knee into the chest. Lots of energy in those bottom toes, the right toes. as they point towards the ground. From here, left hand, gonna look for the outside of the right foot. Begin to work that right leg towards straight. Come into a twist. Option to keep your gaze forwards or look back towards your right hand. And from here, release that front leg. Bring the right arm forwards and slowly follow that foot down, reach it for the floor, and come into your half moon. This might be some of the only floor contact we get in this sequence. From your half moon, you're going to pivot your hips, so squaring them off towards the front, and then try to look for your back toes, coming into sugar cane. Lots of balance required for this series today. You're doing great. Now try and release any tension in your face or your neck. If your tongue is out of your mouth, bring it back in. And then release that back leg. Come into a forward fold here. Big sigh out through the mouth. Let's heel toe the feet so they're about hip distance apart. Deep bend in the knees, Utkatasana or chair pose, but with a wider stance. You can take your left arm, make a bar across the thighs, and then open up that right arm. Coming into a revolved chair. Couple breaths here. Awesome. From here, come back into your chair, biceps up by the ears, and then exhale, bow forwards, float the arms up behind you, begin to straighten the knees, and then once again, interlace those hands behind the back. From here, you're gonna take a deep bend in your left knee, see if you can tap the left shoulder to the left knee, look up towards the right shoulder. Great, and then when you're ready, switch sides. Right shoulder to right knee. Chin can look towards the left shoulder. Awesome, come back to the middle, release those hands, bend the knees, come back into your chair pose. Great, from here, rise up. You're gonna step forwards with the right foot. Begin to peel the left toes off the mat. Dancer pose is next. So right hand is coming forwards. You can take a mudra or you can keep the hand flat, whichever you need. And then pick the inside or outside of the back foot. I've seen it done both ways. And kick into that back arm. If you are a little more advanced in your practice, option here to flip your grip by holding on to that back toe and kind of wiggling your shoulder around. Here for 3, 2, hang on to it, and 1, release. Try not to slingshot that back leg. I just did it, as I said not to, do your best, and then step towards the top of the mat. Big exhale here. Left side. Drill down through the 4 corners of that right foot. Begin to peel the toes off of the left foot. Lift the left knee as high as you can. Try to drop the left hip. And when you feel you need a little bit of help to get it higher, interlace the fingers just on the head of the left shin bone. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Awesome. Right hand to right hip. Open the knee out to the side. Gaze can go over to your right. Keep trying to pull that knee closer to you, but keeping your balance so everything's kind of hugging towards the midline here. And come back to the middle. 2-piece fingers on the left hand, come around the left big toe. Extend that leg out in front of you. Keep trying to pull the left hip back, left shoulder back. Keep the core engaged and then open that leg out to the side. Gaze goes to the right, lifting that leg nice and high. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Bend that leg in, come into your tree pose. So pressing sole of the foot into leg. Once again, that attention to midline, drawing everything towards the center, really helps with the balance. And then if you'd like, you can take it into half lotus. So that's the left leg on top, left arm reaching behind the back, searching for the toe, and then bending forwards. Try to stabilize the breath and still keep everything coming in towards midline. And when you're ready, begin to make your way out wherever you are. Swing the left leg all the way around. Come into a warrior one, but cross the arms the other way over the chest. Inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, release the hands. Interlace behind the back. Slide the thumbs down the back leg, open the chest. Inhale here. Exhale for humble warrior. As we set on the other side, keep trying to tuck that right hip underneath, relaxing the neck. And then when you're ready, release the hands, unwind, wide leg forward fold, this time on the other side. We will do it a touch different on this side. So deepen the knees, roll all the way up to stand. You're gonna turn your right toes back towards the top of the mat, left toes about halfway towards the top of the mat. So about a 45-degree angle from the midline. From here, arms come out, typewriter the ribs over, come into Trikonasana or triangle pose. You can use a block here if you like, or you can just use your fingertips or reach for the ankle. Really doesn't matter as long as you are feeling the way you like to feel in triangle. A few more breaths. Okay, from here, you're gonna pick up that right arm, the bottom arm, hop your back foot in just a touch. We're gonna come into a version of pyramid. From here, take the right hand back behind the back, and your left fingertips are just going to kind of hovercraft over to the right. So you're kind of finding a little bit of a side bend C curve with the upper body. And then take it back the other way. Hamstrings should be firing back. So now left hand goes behind the back, right arm kind of reaches overhead like a ballerina. Great, come back to the middle. Hands are out behind you now. Inhale, lift up. And then turn the toes towards the back of the mat for Trikonasana on the other side. You may have to widen your stance slightly here. Typewriter the ribs over. And then left hand comes down, right hand comes up. Find a comfortable spot for your neck. You do not have to look up if it is not serving you. Remember, these yoga poses were designed 5,000 years ago or something of the sort. It's not going to work perfectly on your modern body, your modern life. Okay, from here, you're going to turn to your left. Come into that pyramid version on the other side. Left hand comes behind the back. Right fingertips hovercraft over towards the right. Find that C curve in the body. If your hamstrings are on fire, me too. And then come back through the middle. Right hand behind the back. Left hand overhead. Find that C curve. So good. Okay, back to the center. Both hands behind the back now. Turn into a wide leg forward fold facing the long edge of the mat. One more time. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. From here, deep bend in the right knee. Straighten. Deep bend in the left knee. Straighten. Hands come to the hips. Shift the weight forwards onto the toes. Rise up nice and slow for 4, 3, draw the core in, 2, and 1. Good job. Quick exhale here. Step both feet together at the back of the mat. Here we go, still working with that left leg. So left leg draws into the chest one more time. And then we are going to take our right hand to the outer edge of the left foot. Begin to work that leg towards straight. And you can take your left hand out behind you. Gaze can either stay forwards or turn back. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Release that front leg. Use your left hand to follow the leg down. Rise into your half moon. And if you're feeling good, you can draw that gaze up towards the sky. This is a very difficult pose for me. We all have those ones. And then from here, kind of pivot your hips so they're square towards the top of the mat. And then reach for those back toes, rising into your sugar cane pose. Same on the other side. Relax your face, relax the jaw. Try to find some comfort in the chaos. So good. Release that back leg. Come into a forward fold here. You can take your legs wider this time, maybe to the outer edges of the mat, and you can just reach for your elbows here. And just let yourself sway from left to right. Awesome. Let's take the hands to crisscross at the ankle. So the left hand is reaching for the right ankle, right hand reaching for the left. And then from here, as you exhale, see if you can kind of pull the elbows towards the ankles. So just pulling yourself down lower. Maybe don't think about the elbows towards ankles thing. That might be confusing. Just pull on the ankles. Your body will come a little bit lower. And then if you want to, you can start to kind of look under that left arm and come into a bit of a twist. Now, of course, if your right arm is on top, you'll be doing the opposite, looking under the right arm. And come back to the middle. Switch the hands. So now the other arm will be on top, but we're still crisscrossed. And then do the same thing, pull the elbows, and then if you'd like, you can find a little bit of a twist, looking under that right armpit. And as always, feel free to take it or leave it. If this is not working for you, then don't worry about it. Come back to the middle. Hands can come to the mat, heel toe the feet together. And then deep bend in the knees, come into Utkatasana, but this time with the feet together. From here, hands come down to heart center, twist towards your left. So pressing the elbows into the knees, sinking the hips lower than the heart. Back to the middle. Exhale, float the arms behind you. Inhale, lift back up, Utkatasana. Hands back to heart center. Twist towards your right. Pressing the hands towards heart center, sinking the hips down nice and low. Back to the middle. Exhale, float the arms behind you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands come down by your sides, rise up. Nice work. From here, drill down with that left foot. Begin to peel the right toes off. Hands can come into a mudra if you like, or keep the palm flat. And work your way into a dancer pose on the other side. As always, if you would like to further advance your pose by flipping your grip, go ahead. And when you're ready, release that back leg. Nice and slow. Step your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Yes, let the back kind of work itself out here. Maybe a quick sway from side to side. And then when you're ready, just tuck your left leg behind your right. Come onto your seat. And we'll come down into a shavasana. You can take whatever pose you would like for shavasana today. I have chosen Supta Baddha Konasana. You can turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Take a great big exhale. Great work today. Oftentimes in Vinyasa yoga, we get really caught up in the downward dogs and the chaturangas and the mini vinyasas. So it's nice to kind of mix it up and do a standing series. I encourage you to stay here and rest for as long as you need. But I will close our practice together here. Thank you for choosing to practice with me, Jody Scarrow. My hair is crazy right now. There are so many options on YouTube, and I'm really pumped to be starting to get a little bit of a following here. So namaste. I hope to see you soon. I post new classes every Friday. Most of them are a little bit of a trickier Vinyasa style class. So don't be afraid to subscribe, and I'll see you soon.